Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Divas That Care. My name is Candace Gish, and I am the host of this program. Well, I'm so excited about today's program. It is going to be absolutely a lot of fun. We're going to be welcoming a brand new diva to our family, and we're going to be learning all about her. So to me, that's the most exciting thing, is when we have the opportunity to meet these new people and to share what they're doing and be inspired by them. If this is the very first time you've tuned into the Divas That Care network, you can reach us at divasthatcare.com, where you can listen to all of our programs on Spotify, iTunes, Stitchers, and SoundCloud. So, as I said, I'm so excited for all of you to tune in today's program. Well, today's guest is Amber Haynes. And Amber, I'm very excited to get to know you and to learn more about you. So welcome to the program today.
Hi, I'm glad to be here.
Well, you know what? We have my amazing partner and assistant, Joyce, had met you at an event, a women's event in Kansas and Wichita, at the Wichita State University, I believe. I was going to say, go Shockers. I was so excited. I kind of like that name. And, you know, she was mentioning all about you. She said, you really need to talk to this amazing woman. Her name is Amber, and she's doing such great things. And I went to your website. I'm like, oh, my goodness, this woman is absolutely inspiring. So before we dive into the things that you're doing, would you mind sharing a little bit about yourself for all of us?
Sure. I am actually an alumni of WSU. That's why it attracted me to do a booth there. And then I saw it was a women's empowered market. So I thought, what better else? Because I like to be a part of the community and help women out and be a strong voice for women. I graduated from there as a registered nurse, and I've been a nurse for a few years now. After working as a nurse for a few years, I kind of got into the healthy lifestyle living, things like that, and my husband had been owning a gym, the Wichita Jiu Jitsu Club, and then through being a part of that with him, I started teaching my own classes and then getting into teaching people how to live healthy lifestyles. Then I started kind of centering into around women and staying like women focus based and things like that. In 2015, I was kind of diagnosed with breast cancer, and it was a real eye-opening for me about just life in general. Just like, you know, am I really happy where I want to be? I want to live this life, you know, with the best I can, helping people, doing things that I'm really passionate about. So recently I kind of stopped working full-time as a nurse and kind of went the path of like empowering women through my jiu-jitsu and being involved in the community as well. So.
Oh, I love it. And that is so empowering. And you've beaten cancer.
Yes. I'm in my last year remission, but I probably only have like 6 months left and with no reoccurrences, which is huge because I have a triple negative. So there's no, went through chemo. I didn't have to go through radiation, but there is no hormones or anything that you can take with the triple negative. So basically you just have to live healthy as you can be and positive as you can be until you're out of that remission.
Oh, I love that. And that's very empowering. You know, we've had a lot of our listeners and some of our guests have gone through a cancer, and you know, it's always amazing when I hear positive stories like that, and to know that, you know, you are living a healthy lifestyle and you're promoting that and you're doing jiu-jitsu. And this is going to be a great thing for our program because a lot of our listeners might not know what Brazilian jiu-jitsu is. So I would love for you to share with our listeners what that is all about and exactly what you're doing out there.
Oh, sure. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is a form of kind of a grappling martial arts. A lot of it is done on the ground. A lot of times I explain it as grappling, kind of like wrestling. If people have seen more wrestling, I know more people know that more than the ground grappling Jiu-Jitsu. So if you picture like a wrestling sport but with submissions and using leverage and things like moves that you can be the smaller person and beat a bigger opponent, which is so great for women because we are always going to be maybe the smaller or, you know, not so strong opponent when we get caught in situations. So in that, you can also use it as self-defense too. And there is some stand-up when you're from the feet, moves from the feet that you can do. But really, I feel like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu focuses on if you're on the ground or on your back, it teaches you how to, get out and escape a fight from the ground or off your back. And that's kind of like an overview of it, but there's a lot more detail to it. But the basic definition of the art is kind of like a submission grappling form, ground grappling. Yep.
Well, I love that. And you were mentioning that you're really you're wanting to empower women with this, and you now have a women's class that you do teach in Kansas. In which city in Kansas do you teach this?
Wichita, Kansas.
In Wichita. Ah, that's excellent. So you're teaching, and so tell us about this group that you've got going.
So every Saturday morning at 9, I have some women that train, and we go about an hour and a half long, and we meet every Saturday morning at 9, and we focus on moves that are going to be helpful for a woman. We are very strong in our core and our hips and our legs as females, so we kind of focus on moves that will help, like if you were to get pushed down to the ground, how to get back to your feet and get away, how to even just stand on 2 feet, just good base and everything, or if someone was trying to grab you by the wrist or grab you from the arms or grab you from behind, you're stabilized and you know specific moves to get away from your attacker. But I also have some in my group that are very competitive, I would say, and these are women that go into my classes that train with men and women, because we have classes not just for women's only, but for men and women. And they are actually out competing for medals and traveling and competing against other women. And I have women of all ages that are doing it. I have some women 45 years old still competing. Their sons do it with them. Their whole family do it with them. So it's a really it's an awesome thing that you can build like with your whole family. But my Saturday morning is just, I kind of keep it focused on just women related and just situations that we might get into that out in the open, like in the streets or anything, or at work or anything, anytime really, that will help them learn how to defend themselves a little better.
And I like that. I like that you're promoting self-defense. And unfortunately, I think we need to, as women, have a little bit of that knowledge. So in case we do, like you say, get into a situation where we need to, perhaps defend ourselves. And, I wish that there was more places like that out there. And, I'm not saying that there's not, because I think there is. But the awareness for women to know that there's places out there like that, I think is really important. And what you're doing is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
And I loved what you're saying. That's a family thing too. You're not just promoting the self-defense, but you're promoting the healthy lifestyles. And I did notice on your website, which I just love, there was a picture of this little girl that was doing that. And so it's like you start with children, and it's throughout all ages. And you also said, which I really loved, is that you have people competing in this. Is this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Is that something that more and more women are getting involved in the competing aspect of it?
Yes, actually, there's all kinds of local tournaments, but one big tournament that there's every year is it's the International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation puts on these world tournaments, and there's ones for adult worlds for like 18 and up pretty much. And then we also have a special one in August that goes in Vegas. It's called Master Worlds, and it's for women 30 and up. And something very, very, very inspiring that I saw the last time I was in Vegas was there was they compete by age and weight and things like that, but there was an age group that was, these women were 70 years old, and they were competing out there as, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioners, and they were still doing it at that age. So it's cool because I try to tell people, you can always, I know, it was, and they were like the, most fun to watch. It was awesome. But it's just really a sport that you can kind of use at your own level, I mean, those women aren't maybe as aggressive as the 18-year-olds, but vice versa. I mean, it's a really great sport. It's a sport that can last a lifetime. I always tell my women, you're not only like learning self-defense, but you're creating this lifestyle that you're about to live to make yourself healthy, to make yourself feel strong, confident, and also you're basically gaining a life skill is what I tell them.
And I think they are, and I love that because you're definitely building not just your bodies, but I think you're building your mind too, because you're building that confidence and your just that whole awareness. And I think that confidence within yourself makes a woman, you know, this is funny, I always say a woman is more beautiful too when they have more confidence within themselves. And I think that's really important, I think, as we age to have that because, you know, we go through these transitions in our lives and, you know, we have these ups and downs. And I think when we get to that point in our lives where we feel confident with ourselves, it is just awesome. And everybody around us feels that.
Yeah, and I meet so many women. I meet so many women that are not happy with their jobs. They're not happy in their relationships. Maybe at school, I have some teens that I help out of like building confidence. That's a really tough age that they need to come in and maybe just build confidence. Some of them suffer from depression. Some of them have broken families, you know, and it's just something that balances out their lives because it's like when you walk into a jiu-jitsu school, you create a whole nother family. It's kind of like going to church is what I explain to everyone. You know, you walk into church and you're like, oh, this is my family. This is who we spend time together, you know, 1 or 2 days a week. That's kind of like when you walk into our school, you feel like everyone's just family and that you're there for each other and building each other up. I know. It's such
wonderful.
A great thing.
What a great thing to give people because sometimes we don't have that wonderful opportunity to have that strong family ties and to have that in an organization. And that is just absolutely amazing. And I love it. And I want to talk to you too a little bit. You did go to this event about empowering women. What are you seeing for yourself in the future? Are you wanting to do more things with women? You know, I think you mentioned doing some seminars or teaching, traveling.
Yeah. So I'm pretty much almost to my black belt, and I would love to, now that I've kind of competed a lot and I still compete, you know, a few times a year, but in between those times, I would love to travel. I have an interest in kind of going into places, even like places of people where they work or bringing them to my gym and teaching them, you know, self-defense, like in the workplace, just anything that they are interested in learning to help them build themselves up, build confidence, or just make themselves more comfortable in an uncomfortable situation, if that makes any sense.
It does.
And I just, right now I actually have my first session scheduled this month with a human resources department. They are booking all their HR because sometimes they get employees that they have to get rid of, and they've had some people get a little aggressive, you know, vocally, and they're like, if it ever got physical, I wouldn't even know what to do. And so I'm like, well, you know, let me teach you an hour seminar. Maybe one seminar won't, you know, create this person that you can be, you know, I don't like a badass, you know, like to defend anything. But I could definitely teach some basic things of how to escape and get away in 1 hour, you know.
And that's
so
so
I
important.
really would like to see that for my future. Maybe incorporating that seminars and traveling around and teaching more.
I think that would be great, and especially if you can get into, you know, you were saying businesses and stuff, but into schools and you know, working a lot with, you know, in so many different groups within the schools too that you can do, you know, and helping those girls and helping other people. I think that would be such a great thing. Well, I hope that you're able to do that.
Yeah, me too. It would be awesome.
All right. Well, one of the things I always ask our amazing guests when they come on the program, is there any tips or tools, things you'd love to share with them that can, you know, support, you know, our listeners in other places? Like the Divas That Care is listened to in 30 countries now around the world. And we would love for you to share with something with all of these amazing women out there.
You know, something I always like to tell women when I first meet them, because most of the time I meet women that are kind of looking for something in their life to get involved in, and or even like a change of life. And from my past experience, just even being in a spot where I was kind of lost and not happy with where I was going, and I just couldn't decide what I wanted to do, find something that you love and put 100% into it and just do it. Live every day the way you want to live. I always tell them you will be where you want to be in life if you just put 100% into it and just do everything every move you make in life is the move that is where you want to be and to be happy.
I love that. Thank you so much. I love everything that
welcome.
you are doing, Amber. This is absolutely inspiring. I hope that more of our listeners go out and check out what Jiu Jitsu is. For any of our listeners in Wichita, Kansas, make sure you go and check out Amber and go and meet her, because I think you're going to love her.
Thank you.
And be a part of this and the journey that you're on and the path that is leading you to helping so many people. We are so excited about that, and we're going to be sharing that with all of our listeners today on social media, because I just absolutely love what you're doing, Amber. So thank you so much for taking the time to be my guest today.
Thank you. Oh, yes. Thank you for having me.
It was great. And, I hope that you'll come back on again, especially if you're going to be doing a lot more of seminars and stuff. We'd love to share that with all of our listeners too.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you. And I want to thank all of our listeners. It's because of each and every one of you that the Divas That Care has now been on the air for 10 years. Our program has been changing. We are so excited to announce that we have all of our anthologies that are out there right now. Our newest one, The Young Divas That Care, is now on Barnes & Noble in the Women's History Month. We were picked for that, so we're so excited about that. So make sure that you go and support those amazing young divas in that program or in that book there. You can also check out all of our amazing and again, you can listen to all of our shows on Spotify and iTunes. So thank you so much, Amber. Thank you to all of our amazing listeners.
Thank you.
And I hope that each and every one of you has a great day and that you do something kind for somebody today. All right? Happy spring to everybody, and I hope that you all have a great day. Bye-bye for now.